Good afternoon, everybody. On a Friday
Hello.
afternoon,
Good
we
Friday.
kind of have just all of a sudden broadcast once again, Bo.
You just
because-
never know. Just stay tuned, Shelbyville. Now you just never know
Yeah.
when you might get some breaking news or just a live feed. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're doing good. Hope you have a great weekend. Memorial Day's coming up.
Yep.
Got a long weekend. Big
Monday.
plans.
Monday, there's a big deal on the public square.
Yes, there is.
Paul Engel speaking.
Paul Engel speaking.
Yep.
That's
I think
right.
that's at 11 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I hope it's well attended. Let's remember what this holiday's about. There's a car show, I think, in town tonight. I passed a couple old cars.
We got a horse show going on, too.
And we got a horse show. We got a lot of things going on.
But what spurred this little broadcast on this edition of Real Talk is first thing this morning, we had tariff news. Trump comes out and he tells Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, you're going to have to start making your iPhones in the United States. If not, we're going to put a 25% tariff on. You know what that's going to do to your price for your iPhone, Bo?
Yeah, I know. It sounds good, though. Yeah. I mean, he rolled out of bed this morning, and he had tariffs on the mind.
Yeah.
And he looked at his iPhone, and then he looked at his wife's Samsung, and he said, what can I do here?
He just said Apple to start with, and then later in the day, a reporter asked him about it when they were signing a lot of these executive orders. Well, how can you single out a company and a product like that? Well, he can't. He can't do that.
No, he can't. Hey, I agree. I like the sentiment. I do. But I don't know how realistic that is. I mean, I wish everything in the world was made in the United States.
It ain't.
I do wish it was.
It's impossible.
But it's impossible. And I think that, I know that these tariffs in the long run are going to hurt us. It's going to make everything higher. We see
if they actually are implemented.
If they're implemented. This is a lot of rhetoric right now. There's a lot of who knows what's going on. We're just
25% is added to a tariff. He also called out Samsung this afternoon. Said same thing for you guys. All right, he's specifically talking about cell phones because he knows we all use one.
Yeah, and it's something that he knows we all use one. He knows those are the popular ones. That's right.
So if you have to pay, I don't know, what does the iPhone cost now? But I don't own one.
I'd say like $600, $800, maybe. I don't know.
What's this $1,500 stuff I keep hearing?
Well, that's probably for the latest and greatest. I know the middle of the road. I think I'd say in that area. I don't know. I mean, a lot of times people, when I've got them, I'll roll them into my bill sometimes. Used to, they would give you a free one, then you had to buy one. Now you
have to make payments, don't you?
You can. It just goes in and they tell you what the value is.
I don't know that deal. I just bought a phone.
They're expensive.
It's a weird phone. I got it. My wife makes fun of it, but I got my little card, my SIM card, and I just moved that SIM card. I got 2 or 3 of the same brand, and one's smaller, one's bigger, and one's medium size. I got this keyboard. I like the little keyboards. And I don't deal with iPhones, but the way I understand it, some of these things are pretty expensive.
They are.
And I was watching some financial analysts talking about, first of all, Apple stock took a nosedive, and it's been diving for like a while now.
It has, but it's really high. I mean, it's
overpriced. But the PE ratio is back down to 26, I think, after today's price. That gets in line with some of the other companies, but Tim Cook came out and basically said we can't do it in the United States. So, all right, and I get it. First of all, they're talking about developing robots. We're talking about a long process here to get the technology set up in the United States to even attempt it.
Yeah, the technology might be there, but it's not. It might exist, but it's not here in the United States. I mean, like I said earlier, I would love for this to happen. I think the overall sentiment in this is Trump big talk, and he likes to throw it out really early. Bless you, excuse you. And I like that. I like some of his tactics on these, but here lately, he's been on a flawless streak before the last couple months. Here lately, the economic situation and the trade situation is volatile. It is nobody knows. Only he knows.
Well, I think he expects these other countries to
fall in line.
Let's do this.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
And this, I think, is a shot at India because Tim Cook, Apple CEO, said we'll just go to India.
Yes.
And not have the Chinese. And he said, don't be running to India.
Yeah. Well, see.
So he's going to hammer India next.
Well,
all right. We got.
Well, and this is in sake, I guess, to get some more discussions going. Look, we haven't heard anything, and it's been a few weeks. It's been a couple weeks. So now here's his big blow up. Look, if it comes to all of this, I mean, we're really going to be. I don't know how we're going to, face.
He's talking about June 9th. on this, and I'm like, that's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, that seems like that it's not
Okay,
that's a really
if
early
you're going to
day.
put a 25% tariff on these phones coming in the United States, every household has got 3 or 4 or 5 phones.
Oh yeah,
If you got 5 kids,
Yes.
a family of 5,
yes,
newborns get them. I guess I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
with
I think you get one as you leave the hospital.
yeah, it's something. But you're talking about an enormous amount of price increase just to keep these phones.
Yes.
Or find something else.
That might incentivize another company, or we might go somewhere else.
It ain't going to be made in the United States.
No, it won't.
No,
it's
not going to be made in the United States.
I mean, they can start getting, I would love for it to. I mean, they could start
getting it would be a process.
It'll be a process, and it'll take a while.
They're going to cost 10 times what these phones are going to cost.
Yeah, and it'll take, it could take decades.
Are you willing to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for a cell phone?
No, I'm not.
I ain't doing it.
I'm not. Not when I can buy a comparable or the same one for $2,000 cheaper or something.
If China doesn't come around and we work out a deal, the Chinese phones are going to be up there with them because of tariffs. But we can't build one.
Well, then I just won't use a phone. That's
smoke signals.
Smoke signals. Just like, well, I won't mention the smoke signals.
All right, but anyway, the tariff situation stuck its head back.
Yes, it did.
We just wanted to talk. Hey, Tyler, how are you doing? We're just talking some more tariffs.
Just talking tariffs.
And then we had a discussion talking about drug commercials. I was watching.
Oh, yeah,
the other night, watching a show, prime time. My wife and I were sitting there watching it, and we started listening to the disclaimer. And it's like he start rattling off all these medical conditions and all these side effects. I'm like, who would want to take that drug?
Death. You will die.
RFK came out, and he got the numbers. 70% of the world's drugs are taken by 6% of the population of the world, which is the United States.
That's right. I mean,
70% of all drugs are taken in the United States. Why?
A drug commercial never existed. I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. You hardly ever saw them. Now they're on after every show, and you just watch every one of them. They've got the fast talker telling you you're going to die, you're going to have a heart attack if you take this, you might fall down, you might bump your head. But in the background, the swinging and the life is being living good, and they don't. There's like, don't look here, don't pay attention here. But no, America's the most overprescribed country. We all know that. Don't go to a pill for everything, but we've seen that's what we've done.
That's what we do.
And I'm afraid that we're doing it at a young age now, to where we're affecting kids at a young age and introducing chemicals that don't need to be introduced.
Oh yeah, and RFK starting to talk about a healthier diet. What we put in our mouth is our medication, what our food is, and I think that you're going to start to see people changing their minds when they start to see all these side effects. And there's combinations of drugs given to people that have never been tested together.
Never.
So you don't know how this stuff is going to mix. It's scary.
It is. And
I think that our cure is worse than the disease now at this point.
It is. And that's what mainly, doctors go for. They're there to cure and to look at
treating the symptoms.
They're not there to prevent. And preventative care is something that is around. There is preventative type medicine around, but it seems more it's like responding to things. So but everybody pay attention to that.
All right, so that's another thing. But our main purpose for being here today is the tariffs, and I got a question to ask everybody. Are you willing to pay 2 times the price for your cell phone, whatever it might be? If you spent $800, are you willing to pay $1,600? If you paid $1,000, are you willing to pay $2,000? That's the question, because that's what we're getting at here. If these tariffs come to fruition, Apple is not going to eat, and Samsung is not going to eat that increase.
No,
they're going to have to pass it along. They can't. They can some, maybe a little bit, but they're going to have to go up.
There's always a little room, but it's going to be up.
They're not going to be made in the United States, not for a long time. And then you got to find the people, and that gets to another topic. You got 5 million able-bodied men in America right now that's not even looking for a job. They're not even looking for a job. It's not that they don't have one. It's just they're not looking.
And it's not that they're not capable of working, too. They're perfectly capable. I think most of those are.
Yeah. All right. Well, are you going to pay more for a cell phone?
Or do you want the question.
Or are you just going to say, no, we'll just do without? Are you going to cut? At some point, the money's going to run out. Yeah. I mean, it's cutting it close now just to buy groceries and put gas in your car.
So. Well, yeah, now we're talking cell phones, school supplies. What's next?
And then you got to have money left over to pay Tyler for the pressure washing that your driveway needs and that your house
How are you going to do that? Your house?
You got to do that,
then everything just gets off. You got to have it. So let's just try to pay more attention.
Speaking of which, if you do need pressure washing, you got to call Tyler.
Leverage Power Wash.
Leverage
They've
Power
taken
Wash.
care of me, and they will take care of you for sure.
Yeah.
They'll clean.
Yeah.
They'll clean your mildew.
All right, let's get out of here and tell everybody have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Happy
Just
Memorial
wanted
Day.
to stop and talk about these tariffs and
Yeah.
What do you think?
Y'all have a good one.